Hello and welcome to my newest start to finish video tutorial in which I'll show you my complete workflow for the processing of one of my latest images from Cornwall. Let's head over to Photoshop so I can show you the image. You see here the finished version of the image which I shot at Padenwander Beach near Porthcurno. Down here, this little area, this is actually Padenwander Beach. And I shot this on our last day there after I think 5 or 6 days of rain and fog. I was desperate to get out and finally shoot a nice sunrise. And the days before I had used to scout this whole coastline and look for compositions that were possible. So for example, we look at this here. This was shot the day before and I already had set up the composition, was thinking how I would shoot this, and then on the next morning when I went there in the dark I basically knew exactly where I had to set up my tripod. I went a little lower here, but else it's nearly the same image. And this is important, especially if you're shooting sunrise. You should scout the area the day before in light and look for the details, look for the different layers of the image, look for how you have to set up your camera to get an interesting point of view. So let's talk a bit about the composition just very quickly, why I shot this image this way. First of all, when I saw this scene the day before, what I instantly recognized were the nice coastal flowers there. I had been there 2 years earlier, nearly the same time, and then the colors weren't that nice. There weren't so many coastal flowers. So I was very lucky with this. And I wanted to include those and have them around those rocks in the foreground. Then it was important to have also a good middle ground and a background, and have the beach in it too. What's important for me when I'm looking for compositions is always I'm also looking for repetition. For example, if you look here, the foreground, it's kind of this shape, then the middle ground, we have this, and the background, similar. Also we have some diagonals. For example, this diagonal here, then a little diagonal of the horizon. And what was very good that morning, the clouds also give me a nice slight diagonal. You could also think of this as a Z or as a Z. And I like this. What's also important here is to find, or what I wanted was some composition which points me into the scene. And those rocks in the foreground work quite nicely. It's like a triangle or arrow pointing right into the frame. And this was very nice. So I got very lucky with this composition and the flowers around it. And as the light started and the clouds came in, I forgot about all the previous days where there was rain and fog and I couldn't take a photo. It was all worth the wait. So finally, just a quick preview here to show you. So what you'll learn the next roughly 2.5 hours is first how this base layer was created, which is actually a blend of 12 images, and then the complete creative workflow which brought me from this base to this final sharpened image. And I'll also show you how I prepare this image for print. And at the end I hope to show you the print actually. So it's a real start to finish here.